Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about magazines. More specifically, why you should give them precious bookshelf space. Up until a year ago, I used to buy some magazines, but usually they would have been collectors' magazines like Stones magazines, Body, Mind and Spirit, and Harry Potter chess collection. But a year ago, something happened. I discovered this wonderful magazine which I wanted to buy and to buy and to buy again. Now, this magazine changed my whole perspective on magazines. I'm going to give you some pros of why you should uh, say yes to magazines. Now, I'm talking specifically on academic and information magazines, not gossip magazines. I still dislike those magazines. I mean, they may be good for reading every once in a while, like a beach read, but I still don't believe in them. But now, pros. They're brief, but they're updated. Most books, after they're being published, they're only published once, unless there are other editions, of course, and they stop being updated, specifically in non-fiction books. They stop being relevant, especially, for example, in my field. I study international relations. Those are really not that, they stop being updated because history is being made, also, yes, history as well. But these magazines, like The Economist, for example, they're really good. I still don't buy The Economist though, just saying, because I buy other magazines, hobby and interest related. You'll see. They also have diagrams, maps and pictures, which most books would not have. If they would have, they would have only a few of them. They also make and your reading more enjoyable and more colorful and bright. So they are a bit expensive. Usually mine stand from 6 to 7 euros to 8 to 9 euros. But compared to books, which admittedly would be longer, they are more, well, cheaper. So they're also good for displays, which you would have seen from the first introductory video, which I edited in this video. And they're also colorful, nice display, yes. You can keep them. There's are not like gossip magazines, which most people would throw or give, recycle, upcycle. You can keep them and you can reread them. I mean, it's not a crime to reread magazines. They will also, even though they're, as I said, cheap but expensive at the same time, your saving grace is that they come out usually once per month or once every 2 months usually. Thing is, if you get addicted to them, it's not enough, like I have to some of them. They also have subscriptions, which would be even more cheaper, and sometimes they have gifts and giveaways. You can win books. Unfortunately, I buy UK and US ones, and I'm not in the UK or the US, so that's a problem because they don't apply to me. I can subscribe, but I can't receive any gifts. Now, as I will say, I will show you, there are some free magazines which are so worthwhile. You should definitely pick them up, and they make for enjoyable reads and also informative. The ads. Now, if they're interest and hobby related, the ads would interest you as well sometimes. It's unbelievable sometimes to say this of adverts, but yes, they are. For example, the last Mireva magazine, which I am addicted to, and is the series that changed my mind on magazine, the last issue, they had this amazing trip to Turkey, following the steps of Alexander the Great. Now, I can't make use of it because I'm not in the UK, but if I decide to go to Turkey, I can decide to go to these places. Now, and they're so good for ideas. and you may make use of them if you live in these countries. They're also easy to carry around and flexible, and you won't mind if they get scrubbed a bit, though that's on the downside. If they do, yeah. They're also light reading, short, so, and you can travel with them, carry them around when you're waiting. On the downside, they can get torn more easily because they're lighter usually, and if sometimes you may not have an interest in buying one of them as much as the others, but you still buy it unless, because then you would have something missing. Now I'm going to show you my collection and some examples. As promised, here are the magazines. So, free magazines. These are Patreon magazines. They are on ideas and how people express them, be it writing or art. So you should definitely pick something up like these or like this one, which is by communication students, and they're short, they usually have a lot of pictures. These are things, magazines that you would enjoy reading because they're very creative and they're free. Another thing, another free magazine, these are on research. They're from the University of Malta, and they show research that's being done. They keep you updated. So if you have something like that in your area, you should definitely pick it up because it's free and it keeps you updated on research that's being done. Now, Archaeology magazine. This is a US based one. I have a lot of UK, but this is very short. It's 652 euros, my price at least. And yes, it's something that I enjoy reading. Next, Ancient Egypt. Ooh. These are a bit more pricey. They're 8 euros 25, but they have, for example, a kids corner, so it's good for people with kids. And they keep you updated on specifically one topic, whereas Archaeology magazine is more broad. Next up, Mireva magazines. I love these. They're nice to display, they have nice spines, they have pictures and sometimes maps, and they have a collections corner. So yes, I enjoy reading them, and that's on ancient art and archaeology. Next up, National Geographic. These are old. I got them from free from a friend that had extras. And yes, national. The format changed, but they still very interesting nowadays as well. Next up are philosophy magazines. This is in French. I picked it up from Strasbourg. This is uh, German, and I picked it up from Frankfurt. Um, I, I do read a bit of German and French, but not a lot. I study philosophy, so they're very good. And this is done from the Philosophical Society, Student Society of the University of Malta. It's from students, and student magazines are great to support students and learn as you go along. Lastly, actually I have more, but this is the last section, History magazine. These are new. This is volume 1 and volume 2, all about history. They're big, they're a bit pricey, but not so much, and they're broad and, well, informative, as you can imagine. History, BBC History magazine, very, very informative. I have more than these actually. I like them, nothing more to say. And lastly, science and how stuff works. So how stuff works also has a history one. I have the photocopy of that, not the one. But they're like the website, very informative and very basic, so everyone can read it. I'm not a science student. And lastly, science magazine. Science Illustrated actually. I picked it up because of robotics and ended up liking this. It's very informative. That's the key of this whole video. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope I convinced some of you that those magazines that you have been eyeing but saying, oh, but that's a magazine, that's not a book. Well, you should. Like, you should give space for your bookshelf to comics, graphic novels, mangas. You should give it to magazines. Albeit I still don't like those gossip magazines, but there are a variety of magazines, hobby, interest, informative, free ones even, so you might just end up liking one of them. I hope you enjoyed this video and hopefully I will do some more. Bye!